Hi y'all! I made it to Hawaii after 23 days alone at sea. It was my first solo crossing and I sailed from San Diego to Oahu. And you can read all about the journey on wildernessofwaves.com. But some highlights from the voyage are that I lost the use of my engine. And so without the alternator, I only have 200 watts of solar. So I basically had to sail with nothing running. I lost my fridge, my navigation lights, and only once a day could I turn on my chart plotter because I just didn't have enough power. And of course, there would be some days without wind and I was just adrift. What else? I almost went overboard. My boat became totally haunted and I had severe auditory hallucinations. Like one time I went into the V-berth and I heard this funk singer say, "Clap your hands, hell yeah." And then 1,000 hands started clapping and I started clapping too. It was like totally insane. I'm just clapping around my boat with a bunch of imaginary people. Anyway, beyond all that, the trip was powerful and poetic and completely life-changing. And now that I'm here in Oahu, I met another sailor who sailed here solo. His name is Sam Holmes, and he came here on a 23-foot boat, which is 11 feet smaller than Juniper. And today we are going to sail Juniper from Oahu over to Kauai, which is the next island over. And the two of us are going to talk about our experiences solo crossing along the way.
Here with Olivia in front of her boat Juniper. It's a 34-foot Panda. Getting the wind vane mounted up.
Oh, look.
We're putting the rudder on the vane now. Got the pin in there. Alright, here's the boat we're going to be sailing today. And where are we sailing to, Olivia?
We're sailing to Hanalei Bay in Kauai.
Very exciting. How long do you think it's going to take us?
Hopefully no more than 24 hours.
That sounds good. And what's the weather looking like?
Really light winds, so we're not going to take the channel. We're going to go offshore.
Aha.
So we're going to have about 15 to 20 knots of breeze offshore. Then the wind's going to really pick up later in the week, so we probably will take the channel back.
How are you feeling, Olivia?
I'm nervous.
Why do you feel nervous?
I don't know, because land and sea is scarier than sea and sea.
Aha.
I think that sailing across an ocean is much easier than sailing between the islands. You've got currents and strong winds ripping through. And
there's lots more variables.
Yeah.
Off that glow plug. What are we turning on for the electronics?
Okay, so I've turned on the autopilot, the VHF, instrument panel, and we might turn on the radio, but we might just use the Bluetooth.
Right. We got the wind vane engaged now. It's holding the course great. So it's cool to try out the hydrovane and different types of wind vanes. How have you liked the hydrovane in the past?
Okay, I love the hydrovane.
Really?
So it can be used as an emergency rudder if the ship's rudder goes down. It's awesome. It holds its course. Like, it pretty much, as long as my sails are balanced, that thing goes.
Yeah, the wind vanes are like pretty essential for this type of trips. It's such a game changer being able to cook and do all the stuff.
It's our first mate.
Okay, we're gonna do a little conversational interview. Try to open the champagne to kind of loosen things up a little bit.
Good.
All right. How long did it take you to get here?
It took me 23 days, and I came from San Diego. What about you?
It took me 27 days. What did you think it was going to take you about that long, or?
I was guessing about 21.
Okay, so a little slower than you.
It took me a little slower.
Pretty close though.
My engine died, and I was caught in the high for a minute.
So did you have like any idea of what you were sailing into? Did you have weather you were able to get along the way?
Yeah, I worked with a weather router called Commander's Weather.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
I didn't really have much as far as like weather communications. I had an inReach messenger to text back and forth, and someone was kind of keeping an eye on things if I was about to run into some rogue hurricane. But I was like pretty far outside of hurricane season, so I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah,
you did it like in the middle of it. That's pretty badass.
I know.
What's the strongest conditions you encountered on the way there?
So, because I lost my engine, I couldn't run my alternator, and I didn't use my instruments a lot after that, just to conserve my batteries. Yeah. But I was like 30, not anything over 35. What about you?
It was pretty similar. Yeah, never got much of about 35. It wasn't very sustained when it would, too. Like it was a squall and then kind of fast.
Yeah.
How much water did you go through?
So I hold 120 gallons.
Holy smokes.
In my tanks, and then I carried like 40 extra.
How did you figure? Like, did you do an estimate?
So all my estimates, everything, all my safety is all based on the Transpac race. So I looked at what they required, like having knives lashed down in the cockpit, or your emergency tiller right there. Everything they said I did. They calculated how much water per person, so I calculated based on that. And if in case my tanks went, I went ahead and brought enough. Yeah.
I did the same thing. I didn't bring anywhere near that much water, but I brought about 30 gallons, and I went through about half of it, and that included taking 2 showers.
I took also only 2 showers, and I was a mess when I got here. I looked like a feral cat. Did you hallucinate?
No, not at all. Did you?
I hallucinated a lot. I was hearing voices everywhere.
Did it weird you out, or were you just kind of like on board for the experience?
I kind of went with it. It wasn't my first time where weird activity has happened on this boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it haunted?
The boat was haunted when I first bought it.
Is it still haunted?
I think so. So here are some other things. Like the clock in there is supposed to chime every hour and every half hour. Mm-hmm. And it was just chiming whenever it wanted. Anytime I'd walk by, it chimed. My headlamps would flash violently and then turn themselves to red and not turn back. And
oh, spooky.
It was always freaking me out. But, okay, did birds land on your boat?
Oh, yeah, totally. I got some good bird stories. How about you?
Yeah, but they were my friends. I had one that followed me all the way across.
You talked to them, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I had Henrietta.
Mine was Pluto.
Pluto, nice. Yeah, it's pretty wild how far out you can see those birds. I mean, I guess I kind of read those seabirds crossing oceans, but I don't know.
They don't know how the birds find their way, but it's believed that they have a map of the stars that's imprinted from wherever they're hatched.
What other kind of sea life did you see?
Dolphins. There was one day where there were dolphins everywhere. Did you see dolphins?
I saw dolphins one day. I just went on the bow and I just kind of laid there and just like watched them swimming like underneath the boat. It was pretty special. Yeah. Do you have a life raft?
I have a life raft. I have a 6-man life raft.
6 man. Wow. You really went with the Transpac. You took it all the way.
No, I know it's way too big, but it was what I could afford. I mean,
You just picked up a used one, though it happened to be available?
Yeah, exactly.
I had a 6-man life raft too. I put it on the bow of the boat because I wouldn't fit in the cockpit. And it was so heavy, the boat just kind of tipped forward and the cockpit wouldn't even drain. And I just looked at it, it was hysterical. I ultimately just got an immersion suit and I decided that would be good enough.
Dang. I don't know. I've seen the immersion suits. I don't know how long I'd want to be in one. I think everyone says it would take a long time for someone to get to you out here. I mean, did you pass a lot of ships on your way?
No, I did not. And like the whole name of the game is like an analyzing risk and like deciding like what's worth taking. Because I mean, obviously sailing a boat across the ocean is risky.
Yeah.
But like, what are you doing to mitigate the risk, and what's your tolerance for risk? You know.
You will never be fully prepared, right?
Right.
Like you can make lists and lists and lists, and as you're working on the boat, something's gonna break, and you'll never have everything you want. I don't know if you felt like that, but I did.
I don't know. Like I eventually I felt like a boat was seaworthy. I did like pretty extensive sea trials, like week-long trips around the Channel Islands and stuff, testing things out.
Solo?
Yes, everything is solo for me.
This was my first ever, like the first time
No way.
I'd see at night was coming here.
Holy smokes! So what was that first night like?
The first night was hard. I woke up, it's like the waves are pounding, water's coming in everywhere. It was blowing 25 to 30 and I'm going close haul. So the boat turned herself around, a wave knocked the sail off the wind vanes, and I would wake up sometimes the waves just slamming me down into the table.
Yeah.
It was gnarly.
Oh my god! Why did you keep going?
Because I overcame all of it.
Right. That kind of gives you the if you can get through this.
Yeah. But even day 10, I was like, do I need to turn around? I lost my fridge. I lost my engine.
Oh wow! But some of the things I found was like when I would lose things, I realized I don't really need them. You know?
Yeah, I just rolled with it.
Do you have like moments of fear along your trip?
Yeah, there was a lot of fear. My last day out, I almost went overboard.
Oh wait! Tell me that story.
So there was a squall and I went up and put in a second reef because I have to go to the mast to do anything. What about you? Do you have to go to the mast?
No, I have everything led aft. Yeah, I do everything in the cockpit, and I'm so thankful to have that because my boat is like, this feels like walking on a tightrope up there. You're so exposed and vulnerable. So were you being held on by your lifeline, or were you able to hold on to the...
I went up and I put in the second reef, and as I was coming back, a huge wave came, and most of my body was overboard.
Yeah.
So I held on to what the solar panels are mounted to and pulled myself back in. But after that, I was just like, get me off this boat. And the squalls were relentless that day. And they were really strong squalls that day too. I feel like the wind picked up a lot more the closer I got.
It sounds like one of those days where just everything is wet too. Like,
everything.
My whole trip, it was just like everything was caked in salt. My sheets were just like a crusty like mess.
Yeah, and nothing was dry. I wasn't dry.
That's kind of part of the fun of it, though, like getting, suffering through all that kind of stuff. Did you ever have that like gunshot noise? Just a wave just hits you on the side, like out from a weirard direction or something?
For me, it felt like a cannon. Like the waves were cannons.
It was like violent.
Slamming.
Is the word I would like describe it as.
Yeah. Totally violent.
I mean, for all the the magic of like being out in nature and everything, like there was definitely instances where it was just like the complete opposite, just like the sea showing you what it's got.
Powerful. For me, it was like when the sea would change, like it would take me an hour to adjust to it, and as soon as I knew like the boat could handle it, then I could handle it.
That becomes your new normal, and like you kind of raise your threshold, basically. So like you were saying on this trip though, you felt a little bit uneasy or a little nervous just because it's like you're on landing and that threshold kind of resets, right?
Yeah. Us leaving today, all the fears came back again, and I don't think I'll ever lose that, no matter how much I sail, because I don't think I could ever know sailing to be an expert, right? Like I'm always learning, I'm always humbled by the sea, and I think that's the beauty of it.
I can totally relate to that. So let's talk about some of the positive things now. Like one of my favorite things, like the stars out there. Like,
the Milky Way.
You could see it, like the whole thing out there whenever the moon was going down. Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and like full moons, how full moons could cast shadows, and then the boat could just follow the stream of it, or phosphorescence. Did you see a lot of bioluminescence in the water?
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Okay, so one of the things when I left on the trip, I knew I wanted to do this. I was like, I quit my job. It was like top of my list. Like, I'm going to make it across this ocean. But I wasn't like quite sure like if it was really worthwhile. Was I making a mistake? You know, like.
Do you feel like you did?
It meant so much more to me than I could have imagined. Like it just kind of changed my life and my who I am. And
how did it change you?
I just feel like more complete after having done this, and like self-confidence has really taken a huge boost to be able to accomplish this. How about yourself? Like what have you kind of noticed?
Yeah, so I'd only sailed solo for 6 hours before I did this trip.
Oh wow, that's a big leap.
Yeah. And so I think I gained a lot of self-trust, self-reliance, self-love by doing this, and confidence. Why have you stopped cooking?
I'm super seasick right now.
Are you gonna throw up all over our food?
Not quite there yet.
Do you want to know what seasickness is? Or you know?
Sure.
It's the discrepancy between your ears and your eyes. Like your ears are registering movement, but your eyes aren't seeing it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need you to finish it.
All right, I'll finish.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
You find the butter. You got it. Olivia never gets seasick because she is an alien. Why you use such a little knife, Olivia?
I almost slapped myself.
Just girthy sheets.
Size doesn't matter, Sam.
Thanks, Olivia. Oh, it's smelling good now. So what features make this a good galley as far as cooking?
So I love this because it's curved. You can really lean on this stuff. Like
yeah, it's solid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I can be like this versus if it's just straight. I'm strapped in and I'm not as secure.
Yeah.
Sam.
Your boat is potentially haunted. I've seen like 3 ghosts. Every time I fall asleep, there's a hand like touching me, and it's like pulling me into the abyss. And it's just the spooky like.
I think the ghost of the man who died on the boat is living in the headlamp, and he travels with me everywhere.
Who's the man that died on the boat?
So the previous owner of this boat got diagnosed with cancer just after he bought it, and he ended up dying on here. So I think he sails to everywhere with me. Through the headlamps, through the clock, through the voices in the wind.
Came out pretty good. A team effort. We're taking on water somewhere. It's salt water. Looks like it might be coming from the stairs or the quarter berth. It's nighttime and the waves are getting big. We're like 10 miles away, or no, less than that. 14 miles away from the anchorage. We're gonna try to do it at night.
I'm scared.
It's always a little bit, a little nervous going in at night, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's a nice wide bay. What's the harbor?
We're going to Hanalei.
Hanalei.
And you can't, the swell gets so big there in the fall and winter that actually we're going in off season.
Yeah, but it looks like there's an east wind right now,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking that it should be
We're
good for this time. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this.
Oh, you just sit there, Sam.
You got that all right? Wow, it's huge.
Okay.
Just stay right side up. Nice.
It's our whip.
It's our whip. Okay. You gotta sing a dolphin song while you're doing it. Log. Log. We just ran the engine to charge up the batteries, and then we're just taking a look at it.
Seeing if I've been leaking transmission fluid, so I'm seeing if I leaked any, but it doesn't look like I have, so that's awesome.
All right. Yeah. You late?
Sam doesn't know this, but I tie the fastest bowlines this side of Texas. I have just challenged Sam to a bowline tying contest. The rules are that we have to keep our eyes closed. And here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. All right, I'm tied. See my bowline? Sam looks like he's still struggling. Sam was.
I thought I had it.
Sam has tied nothing as of yet. All right, Sam. This is what a bowline looks like. Hold on. Now I'm gonna show all the wet rags from the leak.
Okay.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath all along a Saturday night. How does it go? Rub-a-dub, there was something in my tub. How was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splashing. How does it go? You hear me?
Are there any boats out there?
There are no boats out there.
How many days have we been sailing?
We've been sailing for 25 days. No, we sailed for 5 days.
5 days?
I think so. How many did we sail, Sam?
5 or 6. Well, I guess we were at anchor for...
We were at anchor for 2 days. But, I don't know, it kind of feels like forever.
This coming back is taking a long time, yeah?
Yeah, we went, what, 10 nautical miles in 20 hours?
Why was that?
Because we were pushing against current, going upwind, trying to get around the top edge of Kauai.
Why don't they have more information on the currents in these channels?
I don't know, but the currents are crazy. Sam, what is it like sailing with another person after spending so much time alone at sea?
It's kind of nice. Sailing with Olivia is the best.
No, be honest. Pretend I'm not asking the questions.
It's nice to have someone help and be on watch, but sometimes I just want to do things my way, and people have particular things about their boats, and you gotta accommodate them because it's only fair. How does it feel sailing with another person after sailing alone for so long on your way here?
I think that I had challenges too, you know, like it is my boat and I like things a particular way. So that part was hard, but I'm so grateful that somebody else was here to share the different roles with me. Like that we had a lot of reefing, there was a lot of decision making. It's nice not to just be in my own head thinking of, you know, every single thing that needs to be done. And if I had the option of sailing alone or sailing with you, I would still choose sailing with you.